A basic component. All right. Repeat. Ladies. You won't hear me if you're battling over there in the corner. Hey, turn around. I don't want to have young education. It encompasses skills necessary for conflict resolution, active listening, meditation, creative solution, and alternative solution seeking. These are super important. We are not going to agree with each other often. One person can have one point of view, another person can have another point of view. And sometimes we may believe passionately in our point of view. So may the other individual. So we have a basic conflict going, don't we? And sometimes if it gets out of control, anger can come in, frustration can come in. These emotions, anger and frustration, block logical thinking. It blocks coming up with reasonable solutions because your emotions are taking over from your intellect. When you do that, you've lost the game. You've lost how to come up with a good answer or solution to a problem or issue. As soon as your emotions get involved, recognize inside yourself when your emotions are getting out of line. You know that tightness that you get, that tenseness. Then try to understand what is causing it. If you can understand what is causing the emotion called anger or frustration, you have a chance. You have a chance at dealing with it intelligently. But you must take a deep breath. Just stop. What is causing this feeling? It's got to be a thought. It's got to be something in the mind that is in conflict, right? If you can identify that thought that is causing that feeling, then you have an opportunity to say, I don't need that. I can't, there's nothing that I can do with that particular thought, and let it go. Now it's going to probably want to come back because of the bad thinking habits that we have gotten ourselves into. You may have to let it go many times, but the more you let that thought that's causing that emotion go, the more you move your attention to something else and not get overshadowed by that thought and emotion, then you are in control of your life. You are in control of your thinking. If you don't try and identify the cause of the anger, the cause of the sadness or the frustration, you are at its mercy. It's controlling you. The mind is a wonderful tool. The emotions are wonderful tools. But they're lousy masters. Terrible masters. Because they lack reason. They lack logic. They lack any form of critical thinking. They're emotions. I've seen many people who just cannot control. We allow our emotions to control us. That's when we get in trouble. That's when our mental abilities are hampered, are blunted, because the emotions know no reasoning, no logic, no critical thinking in emotions, none. So if you want to be in control of your life, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, you must wake up to yourself. You must wake up to yourself. Why am I feeling like this? What's causing this? Nobody outside is doing it to you. Nobody. You're doing it to yourself. Anger, suffering is self-generated. We generate suffering. We generate anger because we are not responding appropriately to an external event. We've internalized it, and the ego gets involved, and it says, I've got to be right. You have to do things my way. You can't do that to me. That's the ego speaking. And then it generates this emotion called anger, which means you are out of control. When you're out of control, that's when real problems happen, because you are not employing thought. Runaway emotions are what cause fights. Runaway emotions is what cause killings. People harming each other. Runaway emotions where people did not take the time to say, what am I feeling? Why is this feeling there? And I don't have to hold on to it. You can let it go, just like when we're meditating, isn't it? It's just another way of letting go of something that is not useful, something that is harmful. Let it go. Put your attention on something else. You don't have to figure it out. The world doesn't have to do what you want. Your expectation of what people should do or be, or what the outside world should be, is a wrong way about it. Because the other people, the outside world, doesn't care about what you think. And for you to try to make it care is going to cause nothing but anger and frustration and suffering. Let it go. In the yogic sciences, there's something called non-attachment. That doesn't mean running away from something. It just simply means that we are not attached to an outcome. We are not attached to a concept. We use everything as a tool in our life, but we don't try to hold on to it. We don't try to force it to meet our expectations. Because in that forcing, that's what causes frustration. Because the universe, the world, others will push back. And the more it pushes back, guess what? The more frustration you'll feel. The more anger you will feel. And then it just builds and builds until you're just crazy. That's what the violence in this world, that's what causes it. That is the cause of violence in the world. So how do we keep from doing that? How do we solve problems in a non-violent